sacrifice and courage is being recognized at the newly opened National Medal of Honor Museum. In tribute, the museum's lawn is now filled with a sea of American flags, each one representing a hero who made the ultimate sacrifice. Recently, Paige stopped by to learn more about the museum and its significance this Memorial Day.
It seems fitting on this Memorial Day that we are here at the National Medal of Honor Museum, standing in front of a vision of Arlington National Cemetery. We are going to be celebrating those who have fallen to preserve our freedom, and I'm excited to introduce you to the curator. This is Greg Waters to tell us more. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
This is pretty poignant that we are here on Memorial Day. I'm now pleased that people are taking Memorial Day as an opportunity, instead of just celebrating barbecues and mattress sales, to really reflect on those who have given their lives to preserve our freedom. Tell me about the National Medal of Honor Museum and the importance of that in the equation of Memorial Day.
Absolutely. So our museum focuses on the stories of the 3,528 Medal of Honor recipients. They've been awarded since the Civil War in 1861. Of the 3,528, about 20% of those, over 600, were awarded posthumously. So these individuals gave their lives, and that ultimately led to receiving the Medal of Honor.
In another part of this museum, you have something called the Ring of Valor that is really quite poignant. When you're standing there and you're seeing these names, we have video that really illustrates that. Talk to me about that Ring of Valor and that particular exhibit and its significance.
For sure. The Ring of Valor features the names of all 3,528 recipients. It's a way to remember them. It's a really special moment when you see so many names, and you can just understand the size and the scope of their sacrifice.
Well, while we're here, as you mentioned, some of these recipients of the Medal of Honor were awarded posthumously. Let's talk about one of those recipients.
Absolutely. So this is the Medal of Honor awarded to Robert Law. Robert Law is the only recipient from Fort Worth, Texas, so he's local to us, which we love. Robert Law was in Vietnam. He was part of a small group during a battle, and during the firefight, a hand grenade was thrown, and it landed between him and his fellow soldiers, and he immediately made the choice to jump on it, sacrificing himself to save his friends.
Well, and this image, this picture that you have here, this was taken back in the 80s.
Yes.
Of the living Medal of Honor recipients, and sadly, he is absent.
Absolutely. So this is several hundred Medal of Honor recipients. Every year they have a big convention for the living recipients. But we put this medal here on purpose. We wanted to make our visitors understand that even though he did not survive, and many did not survive, they are certainly part of this group.
Well, let's move over to this direction as well, because another recipient, his story is pretty significant, and his descendants, his wife and his child, were here during the grand opening.
Absolutely. So the joy of my job, often I get to make relationships with Medal of Honor families of those that have already passed on. In this case, this is the story of Clifford Sims. He's in Vietnam, and in 1968, he is leading a group of soldiers through the jungle. They're clearing bunkers. As they enter a bunker, he immediately understands that there is a booby trap, an explosive device, and again, he jumps on it, sacrificing himself to save his fellow soldiers.
That is remarkable. And I'm curious, as you were here seeing this image of this child who is there with her mother as this honor is being gifted to her father, who lost his life preserving the freedom. What was it like for her to be here during the opening ceremonies?
It's very emotional. That's Gina. Gina is a huge supporter of our work, and her mom. To have them both here at grand opening was a huge moment. And so many of the families that have supported our work have been here, and then we have the responsibility and the honor to tell their stories, which is really special.
It certainly is. We are so thrilled that the National Medal of Honor Museum has opened, and that it is opened here in North Texas, that people can come and they can remember and they can be a part and learn about these stories of valor and of bravery, and take a deeper dive into the significance of this remarkable reward. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.